Have you ever heard of vitamin K2? If you're over 60 years old, this name needs to become part of your daily life, starting today. And I'm not exaggerating. Not many people know this, but it could be the key to avoiding some of the most dangerous and common diseases in people over 60. I'm talking about serious problems like osteoporosis, heart attacks, strokes, and even Alzheimer's. The scariest part? A lot of people are lacking this vitamin without even knowing it. And they're paying a high price for it. The truth is, as the years go by, our body starts handling calcium in a dangerous way. Instead of going to the bones, where it should be, calcium starts building up in the arteries, muscles, and even the brain. This opens the door to silent diseases that only show up when it's already too late. But there's a way to avoid this, and that's where vitamin K2 comes in. Stick with me until the end of this video, because I'm going to show you exactly how this vitamin works in different parts of your body and why it could be crucial for your health in the coming years. And if you want to keep getting videos like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel now. Let's go on this journey together for more independence, health, and quality of life. Have you noticed how, as the years go by, our body starts giving small signs that it needs more care? Sometimes it's a little pain when climbing stairs. Other times it's that feeling that your knees aren't holding up like they used to. But there's a much more serious danger that we often ignore, and it lives inside our bones. Osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is known as a silent disease. And that name isn't by chance. It creeps in little by little, with no pain, no clear symptoms, until one day, it happens. A small trip over the living room rug, a slip in the shower, or even a sudden unexpected movement. And what seemed like just a scare turns into a fracture in the hip, spine, or femur. For many seniors, this kind of accident isn't just a setback. It's the beginning of a major life change. Immobilization, hospital stays, loss of mobility, becoming dependent, and in some cases, the person never walks the same way again. The worst part? This can be prevented, but most people only find out they have osteoporosis after their first fracture, when the bone is already too weak to recover fully. The thing is, throughout life, our body needs a delicate balance to maintain bone mass. And after 60, that ability to keep bones strong starts to fade. It's a natural part of aging. But what many people don't know is that there's a vitamin that can help the body protect those bones in an active and smart way. Vitamin K2. Unlike vitamin K1, which is more connected to blood clotting, K2 has a strategic role. It activates a protein called osteocalcin. This protein works like a magnet for calcium, pulling the mineral directly into the bone structure where it's really needed. Without that activation, calcium can end up in the wrong places, like arteries or soft tissues, making bones weaker and at the same time increasing the risk of other problems, like arterial calcification. Now, pay attention to this. Even if you're taking calcium and vitamin D, which are well known for bone health, if you're lacking vitamin K2, all that calcium might not be used correctly. It's like trying to build a house by stacking bricks without using cement to hold them together. The structure might look solid from the outside, but under pressure, it collapses. Vitamin K2 is that inner cement that helps make sure your bones have the density and strength they need for everyday life. The good news is that, with medical guidance, you can start preventing osteoporosis before it causes any damage. That doesn't mean going out and buying supplements on your own, but rather talking to a trusted doctor, getting tests done, understanding your calcium, D, and K2 levels, and building a personalized prevention plan. Keeping your bones strong after 60 is more than a health issue. It's about keeping your freedom, your independence, your ability to walk to the bakery, play with your grandkids, climb stairs, travel, enjoy life with safety and confidence. Every steady step is a reminder that you're in control, and vitamin K2 can be a powerful ally in that mission. So don't wait for pain to take action. Osteoporosis is sneaky. It only shows up when the damage is already done. Take care of what can keep you moving, starting today. And now I want to know, have you ever had a fracture after 60? Or do you know someone who went through this and had their life changed by what seemed like a simple fall? Write it here in the comments. Sharing your story might help others protect themselves too. And if you want to see more videos like this, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Here, we talk clearly and straight to the point about what really matters for living well after 60. Alright, now that you understand how important vitamin K2 is for keeping your bones strong, I want to show you another side of it that most people don't know about. And it could literally save your life. Because strong bones don't mean much if your heart is overworked and your arteries start to fail. We hear a lot about heart attacks, high blood pressure, and strokes, but we rarely stop to think about what's behind those problems. And the answer might be hidden in something that seems harmless: calcium building up in the wrong place. As the years go by, calcium, which should be strengthening your bones, can start to build up inside your arteries. This is what doctors call arterial calcification. And when that happens, blood vessels begin to harden. They lose their natural flexibility, the kind that lets your heart pump blood easily. It's like trying to push water through a clogged pipe. The flow gets blocked, the pressure rises, and the whole system starts working under stress. The big problem is that this happens with no symptoms at first. People feel fine, live life as usual, until suddenly they have a heart attack or stroke, and then everyone wonders, but he used to walk, ate well, never smoked? Yes, it can happen even to someone who seems to live a healthy life. Because without enough vitamin K2, the body can't stop calcium from building up where it shouldn't. That's where this vitamin plays a vital role. K2 activates a protein called MGP, matrix GLA protein. This protein is responsible for sweeping out the excess calcium that tries to stick to artery walls. When MGP is active, it sends the calcium back to the bones where it's actually needed. But if there's not enough vitamin K2, that internal cleaning just doesn't happen. The result is hardened arteries, loss of flexibility, rising blood pressure, and a much higher risk of heart disease. What's most concerning is that arterial calcification isn't easy to reverse. That's why prevention needs to start as early as possible. If you're already over 60, or even over 50, and you've never heard about the importance of vitamin K2 for your heart and arteries, now is the time. This information could change the direction of your health. And this isn't just about living longer, it's about living well. A healthy heart is what keeps your energy up, your motivation to walk, dance, play with the grandkids, or just go up a flight of stairs without gasping for air. What many people forget is that the heart suffers in silence. It doesn't warn you when it's overwhelmed. It only shows signs when it's already at the limit. That's why you should talk to your doctor. Ask about vitamin K2, your calcium levels, and the health of your arteries. Request tests, get informed. Every body is different, and only a professional can guide you the right way. But what you can do right now is be aware. Because information saves lives. Now tell me, have you ever known someone who had a heart attack or stroke out of nowhere with no warning signs? Or maybe you've been through something like that yourself? Share your story in the comments. These conversations help more people than you might think. And if this content made sense to you, take a second to subscribe to the channel. Here we talk clearly and seriously about what really matters for anyone who wants to grow older with health and independence. Now that you already understand how vitamin K2 can protect your heart and arteries, let me talk to you about something even more delicate and something that scares a lot of people: memory loss. But I'm not just talking about the usual forgetfulness, like losing your glasses or forgetting someone's name right after meeting them. I'm talking about a slow, dangerous, and often devastating process: cognitive decline and Alzheimer's disease. This condition affects millions of people around the world, especially after the age of 60. And what's most concerning is that it often starts so subtly that the person doesn't even notice. A word that slips away, mixing up dates, small everyday lapses, until, over time, these signs grow into something bigger. Trouble recognizing faces, confusion with simple tasks, changes in behavior. It's as if, little by little, the brain starts erasing parts of your story. Now here's an important piece of information, and one that very few people know. The calcification of the brain's small blood vessels may be linked to the progression of neurodegeneration. In other words, calcium building up in the wrong places doesn't just affect your bones or heart. It can also block circulation in the brain, reducing the flow of oxygen and nutrients that brain cells need to function properly. So what does this have to do with vitamin K2? everything. Vitamin K2 is a silent but powerful ally in the fight against this type of calcification. It activates proteins that help keep blood vessels healthy, including those in the brain. By preventing calcium from settling in these tiny vessels, K2 supports better blood flow to the brain, which in real life means sharper thinking, better memory, and a lower risk of blockages that could speed up Alzheimer's. Of course, it's not a cure, and it doesn't replace medical treatment, but it is a preventative measure that can work day by day, long before serious symptoms appear. And when it comes to Alzheimer's, the sooner you start taking care, the better. Think about it. Can you imagine not recognizing your own family's faces? Not remembering the stories you lived, the music you love, the flavors that marked your life? Losing the mind's autonomy means losing a huge part of who we are. That's why if you value your mind, your memories, and want to keep recognizing your children, your grandchildren, your achievements, it's worth paying attention to vitamin K2. It may not be a magic solution, but it acts as a protective shield. A quiet kind of care that, done consistently, can lead to meaningful results in the future. And once again, before starting any kind of supplement, talk to your doctor. Only a professional can check your tests, understand your situation, and recommend the best way to care for your brain health. There's no one-size-fits-all solution, but there is guided prevention. Now tell me something. Have you been struggling to remember simple things? Or do you know someone who has started showing signs of frequent forgetfulness? Write it down in the comments. Let's share experiences and talk more openly about this. Because when we talk, learn, and share, we create space for better decisions and a life with more clarity and dignity. If you want more videos like this, take a moment now to subscribe to the channel. Here we speak clearly, responsibly, and with heart about what really matters for those who want to grow older with independence, memory, and quality of life. Now that you already understand how important vitamin K2 can be for protecting your mind, let me talk to you about another issue that has been stealing people's peace and health after the age of 60. Type 2 diabetes. This disease is a true silent enemy. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't give warnings when it shows up, and by the time the signs appear, the damage has already begun. That's why so many people find out too late. Type 2 diabetes happens when the body can no longer use insulin the right way. Insulin is the hormone responsible for opening the door of the cells so the sugar in the blood can enter and be used as energy. But over time, and for several reasons, the body becomes resistant to this hormone. The result? Sugar starts to build up in the bloodstream. And this, day after day, begins to affect how different organs function. Maybe you've felt some of these symptoms: unexplained tiredness, blurry vision, constant thirst, needing to pee more often, slow healing of wounds. These are just the first signs. In more serious cases, diabetes can cause nerve damage, neuropathy, kidney disease, circulation problems, and even lead to limb amputations. And the scariest part? All this can happen silently, without strong symptoms in the beginning. But here's something very few people know, and it can make all the difference. Vitamin K2 might play an important role in preventing and managing type 2 diabetes. Recent studies have shown that this vitamin can improve insulin sensitivity, meaning it helps the body respond better to this essential hormone. This means glucose can be processed more efficiently, lowering the amount of sugar in the blood. The explanation lies in how K2 works in metabolism and tissue function. It affects enzymes and proteins that help regulate blood sugar, control inflammation, and even protect the pancreas, the very organ that produces insulin. In older people, where the body's natural function has already started to slow down, this kind of support can make a huge difference in the long run. Of course, it's always important to remember, vitamin K2 is not a replacement for any medical treatment. If you've already been diagnosed with diabetes, you must follow your endocrinologist's instructions closely, take the right medication, and keep up with regular checkups. K2's role is as a preventive and supportive ally, helping your body respond better, especially before the disease takes hold or during the early warning signs, like in pre-diabetes. So if you have a family history of diabetes, if you've already had blood sugar issues, or if your lab tests are starting to show numbers above the normal range, now is the time to talk to your doctor. Ask about vitamin K2. Check your levels. Look at what changes can be made in your diet and supplements. Preventing is always better and easier than treating. And more than just controlling sugar, it's about keeping your energy, your motivation, your vision, your circulation, and your quality of life. It's about being able to do your daily activities independently without fear of future complications. And every small step counts. Have you ever had high blood sugar or been diagnosed with prediabetes? Is there someone in your family dealing with this challenge? Write it in the comments. Let's talk about this openly and with care. Sometimes, just by sharing a question, you start to see a solution and inspire others to take care of themselves too. And if you want to keep getting content like this, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Here, we talk about health honestly, with no fluff, and always focused on those over 60 who want to live well, with independence and awareness. Well, since we just talked about the role of vitamin K2 in blood sugar control, now I want to show you something that often goes unnoticed, but can directly affect your independence, your mobility, and even your safety at home. I'm talking about muscle loss, something doctors call sarcopenia. You might not know the name, but there's a good chance you've felt what it means. Have you noticed it's harder to get up from a chair? Have you had trouble opening a jar, carrying a grocery bag, or even climbing a flight of stairs? Have your legs been feeling weaker, your body slower, and do you get tired more easily? These are clear signs that your muscles are losing strength. And the worst part is that after 60, this process speeds up. The body naturally loses muscle mass with aging. But if we don't do anything to stop it, that loss can move quickly and lead to serious problems. People start falling more often, getting injured, feeling more pain, and even needing help with simple tasks like bathing or getting dressed. And here comes the question you might be asking yourself now. What does vitamin K2 have to do with this? The answer lies in how our body is one big connected system. Muscles, bones, circulation, everything works together. When you strengthen your bones with the help of vitamin K2, you're giving your muscles a stronger base to work from. After all, bones are the foundation that supports your muscles. The stronger the foundation, the better your balance and stability. But it doesn't stop there. K2 also has an indirect but very important effect on blood circulation. By helping keep arteries clean, free from calcium buildup, it makes the heart's job easier and improves blood flow. That means more oxygen and more nutrients get to your muscles. And those are exactly what muscles need to recover, grow, and stay strong over time. So here's the point. Even though vitamin K2 doesn't act on muscle the way a protein or gym supplement does, it helps create the right conditions for your body to stay active, strong, and resilient. And that makes a huge difference. Because keeping your muscles in good shape isn't just about appearance, it's about independence. It's what allows you to keep driving, taking care of your home, going shopping, dancing, walking the dog, or playing with your grandkids. It's about living with freedom, dignity, and confidence in your own body. And the best part? It's never too late to start. With small changes in your diet, physical activity that fits your reality, and proper medical guidance, it's possible to slow down muscle loss and even regain some of the strength you've lost. And if vitamin K2 is part of your routine, it'll act as a quiet but powerful support in that journey. That's why it's worth talking to your doctor and finding out if you might need more K2. Remember, any decision about supplements should be made with professional advice because every body has different needs. Now tell me, have you been feeling weaker in recent years? Noticed your stamina has gone down? Share your experience in the comments. Let's talk about this openly and without shame. Because the sooner we act, the more quality time we gain, with energy, independence, and a better life. And if this content helped you, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Here you'll find reliable tips and information to live better after 60, with health, freedom, and the strength to keep enjoying life every single day. Look, if you've made it this far, congratulations. That already shows that you care about your health, your independence, and your quality of life. And that's exactly why I need to tell you something important. Ignoring vitamin K2 might be costing you, and in a silent way. We've gone through 5 key areas of your health: your bones, your heart, your your brain, blood sugar control, and your muscles. And in all of them, K2 played an important role. Not as a miracle, but as a real tool that can help your body age with more balance, more strength, and fewer risks. But none of this matters if it stays just in theory. It's now, in this moment, that you choose to take the next step. Talk to your doctor, someone you trust who knows your history, and ask about vitamin K2. Every body is different, and it's essential to have the right guidance before following any health advice. That's respect for your body, your time, and your life. And if this content helped you in any way, I invite you to subscribe to the channel right now. Here we talk in a simple, honest, and direct way about everything that can improve your life after 60. Leave a like, comment below which of these topics caught your attention the most, and share this video with someone in your family who also deserves to know this. Because in the end, health isn't just about living longer. It's about living better. See you in the next video.